Okay, this is the screen of the narrow pulse. This is the current over unity, okay, and we're drawing 100 milliamps from the power supply, but the cell is drawing 1.3 amps at 2.6 or 2.7 volts. This is with a new coil design. Of course, it's not where this is going to produce very much HHO, but the point is the current over unity. And I need to also take a measurement of the bias, and let's see, we're on the bottom one here, so our scale is 0.2 of a volt, so, or 2 volts, I'm sorry. So we got, if we bring this thing up, we're going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 volts, and I'll have to look at the bias. Bias is at 44 millivolts, almost zero bias. And the frequency for this 12 to 13 times over unity is 5.94 kilocycles. Okay, this is the quickly made protection circuit. Later on here at the end of the video, I have my new circuit posted, and you'll see it integrated in there. This has been very effective. It's two non-polarized, I believe those are, those got those out of an old PC power supply, but I think they're around 220 microfarad, and I have them, the positives soldered together, so it's non-polarized. And that sure was what was going on here in the burning up here, and I was really worried because if we were installing these in the automobiles, the problem would be possibly damaging the computer in those cars or other electronic devices. So this seems to be a very necessary item to add. Now, this thing of these motors and power supplies failing doesn't happen at every frequency or mark space. It was while I was changing those settings that this happened. I mean, I went a long time without any failures, but with this new rod design, the failures tended to be more often, and it would I had those explosions about in the first power supply, first research video. This is inside the tore apart the squirrel cage fan, and inside there it's very sophisticated. There's a number of ICs and other solid-state devices, and there'll be a close-up here coming up, and on the left you're going to see the damage to an IC, and it's rather smoked over in that area. Now, I have made some changes, and this slide shows you where I've added a non-polarized capacitor across the cell, and what this gave me was a additional amount of current, and still had about an over 200% unity when I did that. This is the old circuit, and this is my old circuit as of just a few weeks ago, and this is the new one. And notice that I have put the protection circuit in, and I made notations where you hook up cooling fans and other and your generator, your solid-state generator circuit. You must connect these to the point A, or the outside the filter circuit. No longer is there a cooling fan needed for the rod. The rod runs perfectly cold. But of course, to protect the MOSFET, you want to have a fan there. So I just have a regular 4-inch muffin fan above it, and it doesn't get hot. And I'm not cooling the damn fast diodes. They are working real well. So this is not the last word. I mean, I bypassed the cell, and that kind of proves, with the capacitors, that kind of proves that the cell is not part of what's going on. But you can, that's your option if you want to do that. You'll notice there are 2 damn fast diode circuits in this. Actually, I get more over unity by just using one, and I've changed the insertion point. But the addition of the second one provides us with more current. And the trick is to have equal canceling currents going through the damn fast diodes. Now my meters I have balanced within 100 milliamps of each other. The one that's in the cell circuit is reading 100 milliamps low, so when I give you a ratio, it's conservative. The total current versus putting a amp meter outside the circuit is running about 800 mils low. So actually our current is higher than indicated in my videos. It'd be nice to have all these expensive meters calibrated and everything. I just don't have that. Don't have the money to do it. Everything is done kind of on a budget. So that's basically what's up to date here, and I hope that everybody has success in duplicating it. I'm going to be advancing this circuit. Next step is I'm going to add 2 more what they call delayed one-shots. In other words, when we don't have that narrow pulse, there will be another pulse generated right after it collapses, either in the coil I'm using now, or we'll use multiple coils. Also, I'm going to reduce the windings. This one is about 66 turns total in 3 layers. So I'm going to reduce and take 1 layer off and see that if that has any effect. By the way, it didn't have any effect going from a long rod to a 4 or 5 inch rod in multi-layer. So that's kind of cool. There are other things to explore. Mixing multiple oscillators instead of just doing a delayed one-shot off of the main one. That's another approach. Also want to get into building a Rodin coil. And the downside of the Rodin coils has been the time it takes to wind these. There's people on eBay that are selling Rodin coils for up to $300 a piece. I have an idea on how to wind a Rodin coil very fast for low-cost manufacturing. So this is going to be one of my things I want to take a look at. I may fail at this, but if you don't try it, you don't accomplish anything. And that's basically what's been this whole deal. I started in this venture simply to have a HHO cell in my van within 2 weeks. Now that's been a year and almost 3/4 ago, and I stumbled on this overcurrent unity or power unity thing too. And so what you're seeing here will be the multi-MOSFET triggering that will be hooked either to a single coil or to multiple coils. This should be scalable. There shouldn't be any reason why we can't multiply what we have by at least a factor of 5. So if I have an over unity of 200% at 8 amps, I should be able to go up to 32 amps. And that should be more than adequate. See you in the next video. Happy holidays to everybody.